now, Angel Reese has 95% more double-doubles than any active WNBA player that's ever existed. Caitlin Clark got her second triple-double. And I'm going to go into my first hot take, which is Kelsey Mitchell and Miss Clark have the best backcourt in the WNBA. I said it from Jump Street when I thought that CC would make first team on WNBA. It's looking like that. But in addition to that, I honestly think that Kelsey Mitchell also deserves, and she deserves that. She deserves it as well. She's in top 9 in scoring, and the two of them have just been on a tag team tear. And if you got two guards in the backcourt averaging almost 50 a game in a league where if you score 80 to 100 points, you're winning. They're contributing, as you can see, from most of these teams' points, and it's interesting to see the fact that they've been developed. From what we've seen from the beginning of the season till now is just light years. They're light years ahead of where they were, and it's just scary to see. So they got two dynamic guards, and they got an overall great team because Aaliyah Boston's also been playing amazing as well. So that's my hot take right there. It's just the two of them, they form the best backcourt in the W. That's what I'm gonna go. I'm gonna rock it with that.
Nice.
And
I agree. I think they're good. I mean, Kelsey Mitchell, since the break, has also been someone that's been like going crazy. It just, like I said on my show when I was talking, like they are clicking at the right time. They have so many different options. If one of them is not having the best game, you get you got 3 or 4 other options that you can go to, and they're all clicking at the right time. And like, what a better time than the end of the season going into the playoffs. So, yeah, I mean, I don't, I can't say what other guards, backcourt or, I mean, yeah, the backcourt is great. I can't really compare to many because I don't watch a bunch of the other teams. So I won't disagree with your hot take.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, the two of them, they've just developed, and it's just interesting because you brought this up. I remember last time we spoke, you were mentioning what WNBA records will Caitlin break, on pace, and I said you brought up a really fair point because Angel now holds the single season rebounding record, right? And
Hmm.
as we can see, so it says Caitlin needs to average 18 a game and 6 assists over her last, well, now I believe this is 6 games to break the rookie season in points and the WNBA season in assists. So, I mean, the two of them, I mean, what they're doing is just generational. And like I said, just the fact that she's been able to just develop, like you don't, this is not normal. You know what I'm saying? This is not normal.
Hmm.
This is not normal. This is not stuff that you see from rookies. So, like, either of them.
Yeah.
Like, they're coming into the league and rewriting records, and they're saying, "Hey, no, this is their floor. Now this is their floor. This is how we're gonna see them now. This is the
Hmm.
worst that they're gonna play." So it's like, wow, okay, what's the next 5 6 years looking like for the league? Like when Diana Taurasi talked about Asia getting a three, how it's just like what's the next thing that's getting ready to we're getting ready to see. So
Yeah.
it's a great crop. It's a great crop, and I'm just really excited for the future of the league. So, and then again, if I could, let me just pull this up about Kelsey Mitchell because Boog, you
Okay.
brought up a really fair point. I'm trying to let me see if I can find this right
I
quick
was
about
looking
Kelsey.
up their team stats or trying to right now.
So since the Olympic break, the two of them combined for 51 points per game. 51 points per game. And the next closest backcourt, which I thought we predicted this in the beginning, but I thought it would be Seattle. I thought it would be Seattle, but
Hmm.
instead it is Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin. Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark, 51 points per game. And then you have the next best backcourt at 44 and a half, 41 points per game. So the two of them, if you got what if so I think about what if both of them get hot in the playoffs and go for 30 apiece? And then it's like now you have to contain the other 4 players on the team because they have 4 of the scores that can get 20.
Hmm.
So it's
Hmm.
like,
It's like pick your poison of which way you want it to go. Do you want it to go through the post where Aaliyah can get hot and Alyssa, or do you want to go, to your guards where they can get hot? So
it's
it's kind of hard right now to like when they're hitting on all cylinders like that. And I
it,
remember I don't know who it was. Someone was saying like, there were some chemistry issues and maybe that, Kelsey or some other players couldn't really get along with her, with CC, or CC was having issues with whatever, but it's working now.
Yeah.
It's working now. I think her facilitating is really like the key to their success, being able to facilitate, and then you just have it in your back pocket where you can score if you want.
And it's just, again, it's like you have one player who can. She doesn't have if you want. Caitlin gonna put up 20 regardless, but if you want her to like just put up like 15 assists, like you can just have her do that.
Mm-hmm.
And Kelsey is not gonna care. Like she's like, all right, cool, I'll just score 40. Like I'll get my 36, 35 points, and I'm cool with that. So it's like the two of them, they understand. It's like they're understanding each other, So it's
Right
like,
now this
yeah,
Kelsey's 19 points and Caitlin is 18.9.
yeah.
And then right after that, you get Aaliyah Boston. So, I mean, they got a triple threat.
Yeah, and you got Lexi who can go off at any moment. The Fever are playing great, man. Like, and they're playing. So she talked about clinching a playoff spot, and she said she expected to get there from the beginning of the year. And then she said, in addition to just playing there in the playoffs, once they got in there, she's like, "Oh, I expected this, but this isn't the expectation. It's just to make it. She wants to win. She wants to, see how far they can honestly go. I'm not going. I'm not saying chip. I'm not saying that. I wouldn't go as far as that.
I mean, Indiana's been in a rebuilding for a while now, so they're finally where they're getting, because in the beginning of the year, people wanted Christy Sides fired. Now I don't really hear too much about that now that they've been on this streak, but
it's true.
But yeah, I mean, they were in rebuilding for a very long time, which is how they got the 2 number 1 picks, and they're doing what a rebuilding team or a team that's like almost out of rebuilding is doing. Like, they got the right pieces. They're hitting on all cylinders. They figured it out. They got the chemistry. And then now it's like, can you continue doing that? Like, not just this season, like what's next season going to look like with these people? Are you switching people out, or is it going to change depending on who's there or not? So it's been good to see for the league.
I want to see how far this team could go, because they're playing well. They play Minnesota, and we're gonna see, because that's a tough team.
Is that their next game?
I believe so. I believe they play Minnesota next, and they already they got one off on them. But I want to say, speaking of a championship team, so I guess we're gonna switch to fact or fiction question. Mm-hmm. Tiffany Hayes is leading the sixth player of the year race right now. Do you believe that's fact or fiction? Right now, she's averaging, that's what I want to know what you think. She's averaging 12.5 in the last 11 games. She's shooting nearly 68%, like 62%. So she's just been playing really well. And the next best player, or I guess one of the other candidates, would be from the Dallas Wings, which I'll bring up, but that's Kalani Brown. So, I mean, I was looking into this. Her efficiency, like, there are so many things that you could say about Tiffany Hayes, but I wanted to know, what were your thoughts about her? Because she's been really playing well. She's been giving them a spark.
I like Tiff Hayes for sixth player. But can she get it, being that she came on? I forgot when she came on to the Aces.
She came in late, but I think she qualifies.
Can she still qualify for that? Okay. I mean, that's on my team, so of course I'll go for Tip. Like, Tip has been like the way she played. I mean, against my other team, Chicago. She coming. I mean, and she started because Kelsey Plum was not playing because she was resting or whatever. But she was all over the place. Like, she's been such a spark for the Aces. Not super consistent, but lately she has been. I would say since the break. Obviously, a lot of people have kind of risen since that break or whatever. It just shows that they kind of needed that. But I would go for her. I mean, Kalani Brown, I think she was the game that they had against, what was it, LA, when LA was winning the game. I think they were down by like 20. and they just started coming back and ended up winning the game by like 3 or 4 points at the end. Kalani was right there, rebounding, getting the putback, going for the ball. Like she was really, pivotal in that. So I like Kalani, but I'll give it the Tip.
I probably agree with you because, like, again, when it comes to like, it's hard to give awards to teams that aren't winning. So that's the only problem, man. I love my wings, but they gotta get some dubs, man.
I don't mind that, but I still go with Tip because I'm an Aces girl.
Kalani played well against Washington. She had a double-figure game off the bench, 10 points. So she's playing well. You're right.
Yeah.
They just gotta get some wins, man. Come on, get into the playoffs so they can give you some awards, y'all. Come on. And they know it. She said it the other game. Kalani said it the other day. She's like, we want to get to the playoffs, we want to win, and we want to, see what we can do. So, and that's the reason. And that's funny that we are talking about Kalani. So I want to ask you this: Angel Reese, fact or fiction, will lead the Chicago Sky to a playoff berth this season.
When you say lead, what do you mean? Just her tenacity and her fight and everything point because
any way you want to describe it.
Because people be trying to drag my girl. Yeah, no, I think we can keep it. I think we can. I mean, we've been down. We've been missing people. It's been tough. People have gotten hurt, but I think the will is always there. The Chicago Sky is always right there, and just something falls apart in the fourth quarter where they just cannot like capitalize and finish. Mainly their turnovers. But I think if Kennedy's coming back and she teams up with what Angel and Camilla have been doing since the break, I think we can hold on to 8th. I think I feel like a streak is coming on, and not just because of Kennedy. I just was like, look, we're gonna go on like at least a 3-4 game streak.
We gotta pull up the schedule. We gotta pull up the schedule.
We got LA next. I think we got Dallas. I gotta look. We've had so many winnable games though. It doesn't really matter. We could have won against the Sun. We could have won against the Aces. We were hanging with the Aces this time. It's just the turnovers. Again.
LA, Dallas. So the Dallas game is a huge game.
Yeah, I know.
This
LA, Dallas, Washington.
These are all.
And Minnesota don't have nothing for Camilla. Minnesota don't have nothing for Camilla. If the guards stay ready for when Camilla's going to kick it out, if she can't get that point or get that basket, we can get Minnesota. They ain't got no inside.
They don't. They don't. They're a guard oriented and a perimeter oriented team, which is why they're deadly. Because if they're like Indiana, Indiana has a big though. So, but they're a guard oriented team. So, but with this rock, okay, LA, Dallas. So you're going fact that they're getting in. So you got Phoenix, Atlanta. So Atlanta game is tough too.
That's going to determine. That's going to be the determining factor. I think that game right there.
Yeah.
Because we got Atlanta and is it Washington or Dallas that's like right there? Is it Dallas?
It's Washington. Washington is right there.
Yeah, but I mean, also if Dallas won like a game or two, they'll be right there too, right? Or if Washington lost, they said it was like. Let me look at the standings.
I was about to pull them up.
I know it's 2 teams that's just like right there. I mean, we're tied with Atlanta.
Pull it up right here.
It's Washington. Washington's right there.
10-23. And then it's Atlanta 11-22. They're tied with you guys.
Dallas has a couple of games. If they win and we lose, they're up. They're kind of closer. But Atlanta's right there, and Washington is literally within 2 wins or 2 of our losses.
Sonny said everyone deserves their flowers in regards to us talking about Angel Reese. There you go. Thank you, Sonny. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Sonny. It's refreshing not to get any crazy comments. I appreciate it.
That's one of the more positive ones.
That's what I'm saying. It's refreshing because I'm sure the comments are going ham.
Kendall put Clark Rookie of the Year. Okay. So this is good. These are positive comments.
Be careful, please.
These are positive comments. We appreciate it. So I don't agree with that. Somebody put her double doubles. I'm like that's silly. Her double doubles are impact the winning. We already know that she impacts winning because she's impacted winning
No, I'm not.
double that she's won at. So now I wanted to ask you this. So we were speaking about impactful. One of the
Wait, what was your answer? Are you?
mine's for fact or fiction?
Yeah.
Fact
Do
or
you
fiction?
think
That's like
Chicago can hold on, or do you?
Chicago Sky will get in the playoffs. Chat, what do y'all think?
I mean, we're in the playoffs right now. We're in the playoffs.
In the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. What was your answer? You saying no?
Is Kennedy Carter healthy? That's my answer. That's my biggest answer.
You can't answer a question with another question.
If she's healthy, honestly, because she's a huge X factor.
And she's our number one scorer, our top scorer.
Yeah. Hello. If she's not playing, then it's really difficult to say yes. If she's not playing and she's not healthy, it's going to be really difficult to say yes because, like you just said it, she is their top scorer.
Yeah.
If she is healthy, she makes the difference. And I think that they can beat Washington with Carter on the floor because I want to see Weatherspoon use Reese on the perimeter. When you got a guard that's going off like Atkins or whomever, use Reese on the perimeter against some of these guards. You got another big anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Put her on the perimeter. She's athletic enough.
She can guard.
Stewie, exactly. She put her on Stewie, and Stewie's on a perimeter-based player, even though she's a 4. But it's like you can also have her play on the perimeter. Fact or fiction? I think again, if Carter's healthy, I'm gonna go with yes because they're playing. They're tied with Atlanta. They play Atlanta, and I would say that they're gonna beat Atlanta. They've already beaten Atlanta.
Twice.
Yeah, I would say yes to that. And then but Washington is like, that's why I brought up if Ariel Atkins is going off or whomever on the perimeter is going off, they need to have Reese switch off and guard one of the two of them because they need.
You can't forget about Big Mama Steph because she'll come up and.
Cardoso is athletic enough to go out there.
Yeah, but she hits threes.
But that's my point. She's Cardoso.
Oh, you saying Cardoso is athletic to go out there with her?
Yeah, leave her.
Oh, I thought you were talking about posting up.
Camilla can move. Yeah, leave her in single coverage.
Oh, yeah, she's the leading scorer right now for the team.
Yeah, leave her in single, and she's a good passer. So that's Baby Jokic. But that's my point.
Baby Jokic.
She can play. Camilla can play, man. Camilla Cardoso can play for sure. The chats are going crazy. I appreciate it, y'all. They're talking about. Hey, shout out to Gold Balls, longtime listener. But yeah, let me just they had me losing my train of thought. But Camilla can play if Stephanie is going off, and the fact that you have Angel, I really do want to see Teresa use Angel on the perimeter, guarding perimeter offensive players because I think she's athletic enough to do it. As you can see, when she used to always get full court steals. She's kind of trailed down from it a little bit. But she always used to get them, transition full court. I'm like, okay, she could do this. So and on the perimeter, but it's because she has to do so much on the offensive end, which I feel like it's not. So y'all put a lot of expectations on this. She's a forward, she's not playing guard, and then you're expecting her to set up her own shot, and she's not a perimeter-based player. And it's like y'all are expecting a lot from her, and that's cool because it's the same thing with Clark. It's like y'all know how good she is. So it's like. I just be real about it. Just be real about it. But the fact that she's doing so much in the capacity that she's given is it's impressive again. So I'm gonna go yes if Carter is healthy. If Kennedy Carter is healthy, I'm gonna go yes because it's just
we need all our pieces if we're gonna keep that spot. I think.
Yeah, I think it'll be she honestly is the difference. She is the difference. Because
it's like Chelsea Gray on the Aces. I mean, we got the MVP, but if you ain't got every piece on there that's hitting on all cylinders, MVP can't do everything by herself.
I'm telling, if I'm just shoot the ball every time, that's I don't care how many times you just shoot it, shoot it seriously. Because I'm like that they need a guard that can just hit some shots in addition to, or just create other shots for other people. So it's like. It'd be beneficial, obviously. That's why I said, is she healthy? If she's healthy to play and ready to go, let her play. If she's not, she's gonna be a hindrance. she's gonna be a hindrance. If she's not,
We'll see what happens. I don't want her to rush to, we still got 7 games or 6 games if she doesn't play.
Why Keith put not that's not true. He don't think that that's true. You don't I think Kennedy Carter's a good player. What were you gonna say? He said
he doesn't think what's not true, that Kennedy's not a good player?
Essentially. He said, yeah, essentially, I believe that. Keith disagrees. I think they're still I don't know who they're talking about. That's one
Kennedy's not a good player?
I don't know who he's talking about. I don't know who he's
she was up for the 6th player of the year if she hadn't been a starter. Oh no, she was leading everybody.
Yeah, they're talking about somebody.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who he's talking about. Yeah, he's talking about something else.
Yeah. What was your next topic?
Yeah, the next one was let's do this. The WNBA mishandled the promotion of Caitlin Clark. Is that fact or fiction? What do you think about that?
It's fiction.
Okay, why do you say that?
Because that's all they've been doing is promoting her since the beginning. The league. They're not promoting anybody else. That's their issue. You want to talk about promotion?
Why you say that though?
Because every Indiana game is on TV besides, I think, 4 or 6, when they were one of the worst teams in the league last year. So the only reason they got that is because of who they have on their team. Every game that was promoted in the beginning was graphic heavy with Caitlin and what game she's playing, who's going to be here, who's playing this, and they only report on the games that Indiana are playing against other teams, didn't care about the other teams that were playing that same day. So, I mean, the promotion is there for her, but does the promotion suck generally for the WNBA, that they're not good at promoting? Yes, they suck.
Let me ask you this. Is that the WNBA that's promoting the league, or is that what I'm asking is this? Is that as a result because ESPN is saying, hey, we want Caitlin to be on our channel, we're going to broadcast all of her games, versus the WNBA going to ESPN saying, hey, put Caitlin on our channel? I
mean, maybe not, but WNBA runs their own social media and they won't posting about anybody else but Caitlin. WNBA runs their league pass.
What, you mean coming into the league?
I'm saying going into it, and just generally now. I mean, now you get it because people are breaking records and doing things. Asia's playing crazy. You can't not talk about what Asia's doing. You can't not talk about, Angel's doubles or what she's doing. You can't not, and they're not really talking about like Minnesota or New York having like a long streak and stuff like that. But I'm saying where they can control it, you don't see that much on their social media, their commercials. I keep seeing that same commercial about welcome to the WNBA. Huh?
But with Sheila Swish?
Yes, which was cute. It was a nice commercial in the beginning, but like that's the same thing. I thought it was
be a series.
It would have been nice if it was one. That's a good idea, but they didn't do that. And then like the whole like TD Garden game that wasn't even promoted, that wasn't even talked about, that sold out, and it didn't include, I'm saying, that's an opportunity to include your other players, because Caitlin is good and great, but I mean there's 143 other players in the W, and if you want it to grow, if you don't want it to just be centered on certain teams, you got to talk about you want your other teams to be seen. I can see if ESPN doesn't want to talk about anybody else, or ABC or CBS, but you as the W should want to promote other players and other teams just to get the conversation going. It's just crazy to me that they don't. I mean, the preseason thing threw me for a loop, because like, how do you not?
Oh, when it's in China?
No, I'm saying like
North Canada rather.
No, when they had the Aces, who were the returning champs, not even having their one preseason game that was available on League Pass. But it just didn't make sense.
That's true. I was talking about the fact that the game, the League Pass game that I was referring to was the one that was in it was between Seattle and Los Angeles.
Canada? Yeah.
And I'm like,
was that not on? That wasn't on TV, right?
That's funny that brought up the reason. We're gonna talk. One of the questions I wanted to ask you is, do you think the game should go global? That's funny that's funny that we say that now. I wanted to ask that. That's how it. Hey, how you doing, Jordan?
How's it going?
Hopefully everything is going. We talking about Sheila Swish.
Taylor Swift.
These hey Angel, they hating on Angel in the comments. I don't know why they hating on Angel.
Of course, that's the fun thing to do.
Hey. The player hated the ball.
Y'all love her so much. Y'all
The
love her so
ultimate hater
much.
is here. The ultimate hater is here.
It's silly.
No, you're talking about the comments. The comments.
Oh no, they just being funny.
Yeah. But no, I just think the W just doesn't. And last year they didn't do much promoting either. Like, I think I saw 2 maybe commercials. Like the only reason I didn't hear about a lot of teams only because I was following the Aces, but I didn't hear about many other teams. It was just Aces in New York because that was like the big rivalry during last year. So, I mean, the W definitely, they suck at promotion. So on that part, yes, but not including, I wouldn't say they did a horrible job promoting Caitlin Clark.
So I'm gonna go with fiction. So it said, actually, I'm gonna go fact. So the question was, the WNBA mishandled its promotion of Caitlin Clark this season. Fact. I'm gonna go with 1,000% fact. Why? If you have a lightning rod player, like I'll give you let's go with 4 simple reasons. 1, you got a lightning rod player who attracts a lot of eyeballs. That means what? You have opportunities for a bunch of other people to get introduced to different players. So let's start here. When you have a game featuring Clark and a player that they need to know, let's have a need to know this type of player segment. And then introduce, like, they need to, we talked about this, Jordan, they need to make movies into their players. Yeah. So it's like I'm not gonna say nobody knows their players. That's not true. It just, people need to know who they are more and hear their stories more. So it's like, in addition to having this lightning rod player who everybody wants to know about, have these movies built around these other players. Like what I said with Sheila Swish. That should have been a series. Hey, this is blank. She's also a really good player, XYZ. Like they're, I'm not sitting in these marketing rooms. I haven't had that much thought about it, but there are ways that they can. That's why I say, my first point was that they mishandled it. It's because they didn't introduce other players in addition to Caitlin with that. 2, you have Caitlin. So it's like, in addition to that, we talked about the Olympics. Not only was she talented enough from Jump Street.
Should have been there.
She's first team all WNBA. And it brings back to my point about, we're going to talk about globalization, the game, and the global point of the game.
Yeah.
So you're missing out on the global aspect of the game. So that's the second point. So not only domestically did they mishandle it, because they didn't make enough of an emphasis on the other players in addition to Caitlin. So I'm going to repeat this. They didn't make an emphasis enough on the other players in addition to Caitlin, right? So it's like, when the first time that these people, the casual fan or whomever is watching the game, should not be the week leading up to it, or the game leading up to it, or the minute, the tip off, who's the player I need to watch on the other team. That's not when they need to know about these players. They need to know a month and a half, 2 months from Jump Street. Because I've been saying this for a minute. Enrique has been great since college. Right. And it's ridiculous that I'm sitting in the, I'm a patron of these bars, right? I'm sitting in a bar and I see somebody's talking to me about, Erica. I'm like, her name is Enrique Ogunbowale. And if you don't know it, get to know it, because she will cook you and your favorite team. So
Erica's an anagram for Enrique.
so it's like, you
Erica
need to have
Ogunbowale, her identity. Secret identity.
It's Erica. So it just, like, I felt like they missed the boat on that. My third and fourth points, Jordan, I'm gonna just leave it up to you. I'm gonna let you actually speak. It was fact or fiction. Do you feel like the WNBA missed? I can speak on more.
But you agreed with what I said.
So then you it's fact that they mishandled it, or they didn't? Because you said
they didn't mishandle Caitlin Clark, because you didn't talk about Caitlin Clark. You were talking about other players. That was my point.
Oh, but I felt like they should use her in addition to promoting the other players. So it's like, if you have, there's no reason why it should just only, so put Caitlin plays against blank plays against blank. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. If that's what you need to do to draw the eyeballs on this game, and then have profiles built around this, and then they should have it in general. They should have it in general. It's not like they shouldn't have it in general. Don't get me twisted. But I'm saying, with just this aspect, it's like, why not include that as well? So it's like have those types of, and again, with this, I don't want to hear that they're not rivals. I don't care what y'all say. This is Magic and Bird. I love them both. I love watching them both, honestly. And it's like, as much as they try to downplay it for the media, for whomever, it's like, play into that. You know what I'm saying? If you're the NBA or the WNBA or whomever, it's like, people want to hear this, even if it's not true amongst both of them, which is quote unquote not. But nobody can sit there and tell me if Angel Reese ain't making the playoffs, these comments are gonna go crazy. So don't tell me it ain't no rivalry between the two of them and their fan bases or whomever you want to make it. It's like whatever word is not saying is not there. There's some type of word that's attributed, budding rivalry, friend, like whatever word that y'all want to use. I don't know what word to attribute, but whatever synonym. Jordan, I'll let you cook. The WNBA mishandled Caitlin Clark's entering the inaugural beginnings, yes or no? When she got into the, I'll put this up on the chat.
I mean, they definitely mishandled the impact that Caitlin Clark has made. I mean, from her not being on the Olympic team, from the fever. I mean, it just occurred to me today when we step back and think about it. If the question is, has the WNBA failed sort of the impact of Caitlin Clark? The answer is obviously yes. The only people that keep it going are sort of shows like this. The people, whether they are in Caitlin Clark's camp or Reese's camp, these are the people that are sort of promoting the game. It's like the grassroots people. I think Caitlin Clark is the Rookie of the Year, unanimously. Anyone that disagrees with me, though, those are the people that are promoting the game. The people that are disagreeing with me. It's like the
I'm
literal
promoting the game.
Yeah, you are promoting the game. Like, everyone that thinks Angel Reese is Rookie of the Year is promoting the game. So it's literally the literal people, not the WNBA, that's promoting the game. Cheryl Swoops is promoting the game. She's promoting the game. By her comments. It's literally everybody, but the higher ups of the WNBA that are helping bring eyeballs onto the game. First things first. First Take, all these talk shows, Gil's Arena. These are the people that are building up the sort of storylines. I just feel like so much more could have been done to sort of harness this lightning rod, because there's a world in where no one cares anymore in 3 years. Can you imagine that? I saw this picture of WNBA arenas 3 years ago where they were only 25% capacity versus a Indiana Fever game, which is at 100% capacity. The lights are super bright. It's just an incredible atmosphere. I mean, what if no one cares in 3 years? You really have to strike when the iron's hot, because America's taste changes. I mean, do you guys remember were you guys paying attention to Federer and Nadal in 2006, 2007? Dude, everyone could not stop watching this thing. I mean, things go in and out of it's not guaranteed that there's going to be continuous growth. I just wish that the WNBA had sort of harnessed this lightning rod while it's happening.
I don't think that they go. Where you go? I'll let you go.
No, I would say maybe I'm misunderstanding the question, or I'm seeing it different, because I still think that y'all are saying that they should have used her more to promote other people.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Well, that too.
Not her being promoted.
Basketball. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Promoting her and her cohort of players, the people that have been sort of, I want to say forgotten, but A'ja Wilson could have been promoted more in the last 5 years. And we could use Caitlin Clark as a sort of catalyst to
That's it.
Okay.
To bring her the clout.
What I was thinking.
That's it. I mean, we've been saying that since.
But I mean, that's pretty much the same. That's the same thing I kind of been saying. I just think they suck at promotion. They still haven't gotten it together. They still don't know, because I mean, it shouldn't take this long. Like you said, people should know who A'ja Wilson is. She didn't just start. I mean, she's playing crazy now, but she didn't just start being this good player, or a Stewie, or a Sabrina or somebody like that. And I just think that they just didn't realize what was coming, and hopefully they understand what's still to come with these next couple of seasons with these rookies coming in. that maybe they can broaden their horizon and like you said, catch lightning in a bottle and be able to use it, the correct way. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of faith in
just one more quick point that
yeah.
Rob and Jambari have kind of touched on a little bit over the last couple of weeks is that these WNBA players are so like inviting and interviewable. They're the sort of connection between the media and the fans and the actual players. It's pretty close, like access to them is pretty close. The fact that you could get your t-shirt signed by all of them is pretty close, or almost all of them. But they're willing to talk to you. And there's that disconnect in like the NBA where like, bro, try to get 5 minutes with LeBron. Like you will never, ever, ever get 5 minutes with LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So there's this sort of like human, like they're within arm's reach, that there's a connection between the average person and them. They don't get paid that much either, which is because like I looked up their so they're very relatable, which is also nice.
I'm gonna say this. You talking about within arm's reach. You sleeping on a plane and you hitting the Angel Wilson seat like, yo, move up. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like think about that. You talking about arm's reach, move up, man.
Yeah.
I don't care who you got a game against. That's crazy. I would, so think about like you talking about relatable. So it's
Yeah.
And again, they should be making airplane commercials. Like there's so many, bro. Like I would have man, we would have had all of them on the airplane commercial. It's only Airbus here, but I'm only Airbus here, but still, y'all don't get mad at me. Still,
yeah.
I ain't trying to get shot like the whistleblower with the Boeing man. I don't want the Boeing man to cover me, right? I want the Boeing man to cover me.
No, they keep coming up missing, so you might want to hush.
It's Airbus here. I don't want to say too much. I don't want the Boeing man. What are you gonna say, Jordan? We go to the next topic.
Nothing. It's just it's just I don't know. I mean, there's still the playoffs. Hopefully they could capitalize on that because there's some interesting storylines that are about to happen in there.
I was gonna raise this. Speaking of playoffs, is this the most? Well, do you think this is the most interesting playoffs and most recent? I'm not gonna say that in fact or fiction, but I mean, up to your recent memory. I was gonna play. I ain't gonna say yes, but I'm gonna just lean closer to yes. We're Boog, Jordan, if anybody wanted.
I mean, I think more eyes are watching, so yeah, it probably might be more exciting for other people. But I mean, I've watched since '97, so I've seen some good playoff games and stuff like that, and series and rivals. So I wouldn't say this is the most exciting one, but I mean, it's people are behind it, so the excitement and stuff just of the fans as a whole is probably there.
We're gonna have a Moreau Sports Media watch party,
just for the playoffs for the
yeah, just get the family together.
Do you think? Well, you missed that last topic, but I think we're pretty good, but solid on that. I think we're good on that one. I think we're in consensus. Actually, let me ask you this. We'll start off with you, Jordan. We'll go because we're gonna pull up our over/under segment. Over/under. So Angel Wilson right now is 91 points away from becoming the first ever. Well, she probably is. Yeah, she is. No, she's 91. First ever WNBA player to have 1,000 points. To achieve this feat,
wow,
she would need 13 points per game in her next 7 games. Now, I think we're all in consensus to 13 points per game. So I'm gonna go. Let's go over under 22 points per game for Angel Wilson to break this record and become the first player to get 1,000. It'll leave her with 1,102 points. The Las Vegas Aces. They told me that today. Over, really?
Oh, bro, she's gonna crush it. I think there's also a sense of players in the WNBA when they know they're close to a record, they're getting the record. Caitlin Clark was 1 rebound away. She got that triple-double. Reese needs that rebound. She's getting the rebound, I think Angel Wilson's going to be the same way, and I hope she does it because she's having one of the greatest years I've ever seen, bro. She's something different.
You going Angel Wilson too? Over? You going to over, Boog?
Yeah, over.
I'm going to go over. I mean, she's very hard to guard. So no matter what's going on with the team, she's going to get her points. I mean, she's almost getting 40 as it is right now. Her last 5-6 games, she's
Oh my
30,
gosh.
36 points a game.
Yeah.
So
So every answer is yes with her. I'm assuming. Did y'all see her and Bam Adebayo at the in Miami for the city when he got the key to the city?
He got a key to the city.
Asia, I'm not in your business, girl. I'm
Shout out-
staying out of your business, girl. It's me and you.
Shout out to Almonte.
He got a key to Wade County.
Yeah, no.
Dade County, right? Is that what it was?
No,
Is
man.
Wade?
It's Wade
I thought
County.
somebody said Dade online.
Yeah, Wade. They just
Okay, Wade. Y'all got a Wade and a Dade?
Nah, they just misspelled it.
Oh.
Dwayne Wade County.
Yeah, they misspelled it.
Yeah.
There's not a Dade County in Florida?
We don't have a Dade County.
We don't have a Dade County.
They
It's only Wade.
They misspelled it. They misspelled it. You have to I don't understand why.
It's
I've
kind of
heard people
misspelled.
say that though.
It's kind of misspelled just like Dwayne. Dwayne is
Miami
misspelled
Dade
as
County.
Right.
It's Miami Dade. That's what it is.
It's Miami Dade, right? But
Uh-huh.
but it's misspelled amongst everyone. It's WADE. You
Oh, and
understand?
they just call it Dade.
Correct.
Oh, that's
Right.
crazy.
It's a consensus called Dade
I
around
didn't know that.
because the city had a name change back in about 2006.
Yes.
6, and then
Right around when D Wade beat the Mavericks, somehow the city's name changed.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's Wade-
Well, yeah.
it's
But
Wade
yeah,
County.
he got the key to the city with some other Olympians. I
Yes,
guess.
and I mean, speaking of Olympians, we got a future Olympian in the building. I'm gonna go over under 5.6 events, sporting events for Paige Beckers in the next, because she's just literally been on a summer tour everywhere.
What
Dude,
did you
I
say?
love Paige
This
Beckers.
is at the U.S. Open.
That she's going to be at more sporting events?
Correct. I'm gonna go over 5. I'm gonna go over. I'm picking the over.
The school has started, right?
I'm picking the over. I'm picking the over. I love me some Paige. I'm picking the over. That's why she's gonna fit perfectly in LA with them Sparks. Shout out to LA.
I mean, I love Paige, but if she's in school
love
now, they're about
Paige.
to start practicing and doing games. I don't think she's going to be many places.
She'll make sure she's somewhere in the next.
She'll find a way. She'll
Yeah,
find
okay.
a way.
So, yeah,
I'm
y'all
going to go
over?
under just
Going
because I
under.
need her focused.
I'm gonna say over.
I'm gonna say over. Isn't she this is her senior year? Focus for what?
I think she graduated already. She's just taking some classes and playing.
Dude,
But I want her. I want her in tip-top shape.
Don't get hurt again.
Now, wait, you're the one that's talking about you don't like people doing extra stuff when it's time to play games.
She should be.
Now you want her traveling around the U.S. when she got games to play?
But y'all know how this is the same thing with Angel. I don't mind when they travel. I don't mind when she in Paris doing this and that. I don't mind her shooting the podcast. My only thing again, when you in practice, I don't want to see you playing with balloons. I want to see you putting the work in.
Yeah, but
That's
since
the
they
only
played
thing.
with
If you're
balloons, they've
in
been
practice,
what 7
If you're out of
7 and
practice,
2.
do whatever you want.
They've been
I was
7
doing
and
on the
2
screen.
since they played with balloons.
Say it again.
They're the hottest team right now since they played with balloons. You still mad about that?
I'm not mad about it. I was listening.
those balloons, bro.
They said it
Right,
was
leave the
before
balloons
practice. They
alone.
said
I
it
don't
was
know what your
before
hate
practice.
is with
They
balloons.
said it was before practice. They said it was
Bro,
before practice.
I feel like the Chicago Sky got to play with some balloons now too.
We need
There you
something.
go.
Bro, everybody needs some
Your
balloons.
point is true because you said they're gonna play better because of it. And Tristy Sides talked about the chemistry that they built. She said that the team didn't know each other, and the fact that all of them were on break
I
together.
told you.
They got to sit there and talk to each other and blah 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 blah, play defense, etc. She said that Caitlin said that they had to play defense, which is why they had to change a lot quicker. And so it was like, again, I told you, with Kelsey and her playing together, it's like the perfect storm. You know, it's like the perfect storm. So you can see that they got their chemistry on the court, off the court. You know, but the Chicago Sky had a talent show off the court. So it's like they had a talent show off the court.
Bro, how the hell are all these players graduating in like 3 years? Bro, I needed
she had
all
a
4
COVID
years,
year.
bro.
She had a COVID year, so she's just taking her COVID year.
And
This is her 5th year.
Yeah, you can take classes quicker. Yeah, there's so many different ways to do that. You can take summer classes.
Because I think Haley Van Lith is a grad student, right? Still playing her last.
She got her
year.
master's already.
Yeah.
She's yeah.
See Miss Haley at TCU. Shout out to TCU.
HBL.
Bro, that's nuts.
So that, but yes. So I mean,
I'm
I'm
saying
taking
under.
over. Yeah,
I'm going under.
Yeah, I'm picking over. Paige gonna be.
I'll take the over.
Paige, do you? So I mean, we kind of answered this one, but let's get into this then. Let's go into this right quick. we're gonna pull up in our debates. So I'm gonna find this debate segment for everybody right quick. So let me see. Pull up the first debate question.
Does it involve Cheryl Swoops? No, I'm just playing.
I mean, if you want to, let's talk about that's like my aunt. I call her like my auntie. So shout out to Auntie Cheryl. So shout out to Auntie Charlie. Like I already like I met Cheryl Swoops and talked to Cheryl Swoops. So she's like, you ain't gonna hear no bad words from me about Cheryl Swoops. I'll say this. She's allowed because and I'm talking. You see me. I met Nancy Lieberman. I'm talking to Nancy Lieberman. So it's like it's crazy. That's Stephen A. So when I see the OGs all fighting each other, it's like Civil War. I'm like, everybody's allowed to have their own opinion about the game, and that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You know, it's okay. But like I always say, like, you know, I like to base everything based on facts. But it's like, okay, if you feel it one way, put it on the facts on it or whatever. If you feel another way, put the facts on it, whatever. Like I'm good with it. But it's like it's the same way when people say Angel's trash. I'm like, how can you tell me Angel's trash? No fact, no metric, no anything says anything about her leading to those words. So it's like now you just hating. So it's like you can't. It's like, can you really just say that, or do you really have something to validate what you're saying? And if you are, then say it, and that's okay. But if you have a difference of opinion, that's okay. It's like, so I really do hate to see that the two of them are like beefing. I hope the gripe, you know, I hope the best works out between everybody. Obviously,
I just find it's so different to hear personal conversations get spilt out in the media like this. Like you don't really see that too often, you know, like private conversations kind of spill out in real time. Yeah, I know. Dude, he changed everything, bro. He really did. Yeah, it's just interesting because it's like right or wrong, like can you remember the last time such a long conversation was kind of spilt out on social media like this regarding something super personal about friendship, or it's like a Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan type conversation. You know what I'm saying? When he criticized the Bobcats drafting, you know, seriously, it's like, when's the last time something so personal was kind of played out in the media like that?
Yeah, and then
I just can't remember right now.
I don't either, and that's why I say I don't like the two of them saying, you know, oh, I'm good if she in my life or not, and the other one say, I'm like, like come together because like they both are in Dallas at these games. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now it's you know, like oh my god, come on, like let's have a come to Jesus moment. Let's have a come to Jesus moment. Yeah, that's how I feel. So hopefully they can work out for the best. So. But yeah, again, and then y'all hate all these comments in Miss Swoops. Like it's crazy. She all this is just dumb. Y'all gotta stop with these stupidity comments, like these fan bases. You know, it's just nonsense. It's nonsense, man. It's just nonsense. I pray for these people on Twitter. Diamond the Shields, praying for you. DJ and Karen, like all of these, like it's just so crazy, man. It's a game, like you said, Jordan. And I ended on this. Julius Erving punched Bird in the mouth, and they kept it moving. Boom. Yeah. It's not like the whole city of Boston might have hated Bird or whatever. I mean, hated Irvin, whatever, but it's not.
Yeah, right.
It's a social media era, so it's like everything you can.
Everything is heightened and way blown out of proportion when it comes to social media.
Speaking of social media, I'm gonna read this right quick. There you go. So this is one of our debate topics. So if you want to get into this a little bit more, but it says, has the WNBA truly made progress in diversifying its fan base? Actually, no, it's a little different. Or are most marketing efforts still failing to reach key demographics?
Well, what are the key demographics?
You tell me. It's like, who do you want to? I don't want to say something that might be deemed as disrespectful or whatever, but it's like, that's the question. Who are they trying to attract? Who is the key demographics in the situation? Who are they trying to bring on? That's a great question.
Well, I don't have numbers in front of me, but if I had to imagine, the core base of the WNBA are probably like, I don't know, like 17 to 35 female minorities, if I had to guess, you know. But I mean, I feel like everyone of all races and, you know, genders are interested in the WNBA because the stories are so compelling right now, you know. So I think they're tapping into a lot of key demographics. I think there's growth across the board, you know. I mean, as a dentist, I talk to my patients about the WNBA all the time, and I live in a very rural part of Florida, so I'm talking to like old white people, retired white. No, seriously, like, and they know who Caitlin Clark is,
Yeah.
and they know who Angel Reese is, and they know who Asia Wilson is, and they kind of falls off from there, but like they know who these people are. So it's really slowly reaching them. So I don't know. That's my personal take on it.
I would say it's made progress because now obviously you got a whole bunch of different fan bases,
Yeah.
watching the league. So I'd say it's made progress, but I mean, like, really, I still like they're honestly still failing. We kind of already talked about it a little bit because like they could be propped up a lot more. So, um, what were you gonna say? Book my fault. What are you gonna say? I didn't mean to cut you off.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I don't really know. Like Jordan was saying, I don't know the numbers or who they're trying to go after. Um, but I mean, I think there's always progress there of growing your fan base. Um, but I don't know if their marketing efforts. I just don't. They're
I
never
know.
there. They're never
I
there.
know.
So
I
it's
know.
hard to say if they're making progress. I think the progress was made from the college kids, like
Yeah.
the fan base from college coming over and actually following them, because it was once where you follow the people in college, but once they went to the W, you didn't. It would fall off. You didn't really care what they were doing, and now it's like we're actually watching them play in college, and all the fanfare is there, and they're selling out there, and they get all the there's celebrities there, and now that fan base is actually following them to their professional team, and then now those teams are reaping the benefits of that. So I mean, I think it is reaching a younger base, but it's also reaching more like, I would say, families, because families like
Right.
are the
Yep.
ones that's
I was
at the
gonna say that.
college, at school, watching
Yep.
these kids through these 4 years, and the dad is there, and the dad went there, the mom went there, now the kids go there, now they're all watching their
Yep.
favorite players, and they're following them now to here. So it's a progress. I mean, they're making progress, but are they gonna capitalize off that? I don't know.
I like that. That's a good because it's true. When you go to these games, it is a lot of families, and it still is kind of a family show. But let me ask you this though. So, why do you feel like it fell off between the two of them? Like, meaning, like watching a player through college and then like when they hit the W, like, no, no, no.
I For me personally, because I was a person that fell off from watching the W, because I started watching the '97, but it was a time where I wasn't watching, and then I came back to it. But it was access, to be able to see them. Like I was, I mean, it's gonna make me sound old, but I'm watching. I had to look through the newspaper to get the box scores and stuff like that, because where else was
Wow.
I going to be able to see them? Like I need to know where the sparks were in the standings. Like literally, I'm like writing it down. Like, yes, young people, there were these things called newspapers. But that's
I
how
used to
I
do
was
that.
like,
I mean, I used to do that all the time. Sports
not a lot of
section,
Yeah,
young
sure.
people do
Miami
though.
Heat,
But yeah, I used to have to like
Miami
track
Herald.
them by their standings and how many games they needed to win by looking at the newspaper. And I would see in the sports section, like get my reviews or the updates on the games and stuff like that. And then once it came off of like national TV, because I think it used to be on ABC. So at least on Saturdays, Sundays, I can watch the games. But after that, I
That's
had
true.
to have like paid cable. And for a while I didn't have that. I stopped paying for cable. I just had regular, TV. So I couldn't watch the games, and then they just weren't that accessible unless you went on WNBA.com to see what they were
Right.
doing. After a while, it was just like too much for me to try to keep up with, because I'm living life. I have a life that I'm doing. I can't just spend my whole time on the computer. So it became less accessible for me. So I lost track of the people. Like I knew Candace Parker. I watched her in college, but I couldn't follow her whole career because I just didn't have access to watch the W. And it just, now that there's more access, I was able to get back on and start watching it again. But that's kind of why I fell off. I think people just didn't want to put the work in that you had to at one point to follow the W. I mean, that's from my point of view. I don't know what you guys think.
I think, yeah, that's a really great. You made a really great. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you because I never heard I never heard the access point. I would say it's a huge part of it would be access. Access. What were you gonna say, Jordan? But yeah, I mean, yeah, that was really good.
I have this I don't know, like, tell me what you guys think about this, but I have this suspicion that more people would watch the WNBA if the game was softer. If everybody played more like Caitlin Clark and everybody played more free flowing, less aggressive,
I've been that for years. I mean, for
less physical, like less physical gameplay, like kind of like how because it's like the WNBA is kind of stuck in like the mid 2000s NBA, but what people want to see from the WNBA is actually like the current NBA.
Right.
And what people want from the NBA, the current NBA, they actually want
WNBA is
the
now.
90s, 2000s NBA. Yeah, the current
Right.
WNBA.
Yeah.
So it's like I think America secretly wants a more feminine WNBA game, but a more physical male game, slightly more physical male game, way more feminine, softer female game. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't say all that. What I was so that I ain't gonna say. But what I was gonna say is this up to your point. The reason why I'm not saying I want less physicality in the W. I don't care if it's physical or not. What I do want is them to call the foul more.
Right.
Let's just start there. Call the foul. If it's I don't care if they're shooting 400 times in a game. Now, there's no reason why games and teams should be having 13 points in a quarter. Are you kidding? And they're going to the Chicago. They're going to the. Let's say, call the freaking foul, bro. Like, why are we watching this archaic form of basketball?
Right.
And then it goes back to saying, okay, if somebody's running off a screen and they're shooting a three or whatever and they get hit, call the foul. It's like, just call the foul. Game should be in the 110s, like Caitlin was saying. We missed layups, which is why they didn't get to 110. But it's like, okay, cool. Other teams aren't even, they're still cracking 60 to 70 points. And it's like, points. What? And it's like, that's not going to get it. What areas? Come on now. We got called the foul. Call the foul. So it's like, the thing is like, okay, freedom of movement, calling fouls, getting the game more sped up, getting more threes, getting more players that can get downhill, positioning, kicking. Like,
I mean, that's why football succeed. I mean, kind of had an uptick in surge also because scoring went up because they removed headhunting, the Vontae's Burficts of the world, like all this kind of stuff. Take this out, like make it safer for the quarterbacks. Every team needs a great quarterback, and I think personally that's why baseball's struggling because scoring is like down, batting averages are down. It's strikeouts and home runs. Like that's the way people are building teams now, based around sabermetrics, and it's just like these games are just not as interesting.
6 pictures a game type.
Like what is this? It doesn't make sense. So I think the WNBA has it's not optimized right now to draw fans into the game.
I guess not yet. I mean, I'm not gonna say that, but not yet because they just need. I just feel like I said, we just need there are players that are pushing the baton forward, but it's like it's gotta move forward. Like, the game has gotta kind of evolve more. But I love the product where it's at, so I'm not gonna say the product. But I just wish the refs would just call the freaking foul and get the games.
Maybe that's all it needs.
Just call the I don't want to curse, but just call the foul. Boog, you have something to say on this one?
No, not really. I mean, I agree with what you're saying. I don't know about. I mean, I like the physicality. I don't know. I'm an SEC watcher from college. It's physical over there. I like that it's physical in the W, but I mean, I think it's there's a piece of the pie. You want the flashy passes, you want the high scoring, but you also want to see that they battle too, and that it's not some ticky tack. They're not running around in tennis skirts. Like they're athletes. They're playing basketball. Is going to probably be physical, like if they're playing soccer or rugby or whatever it is. Like I know people may want a certain thing from women that they don't want to look at it and say like this is like the NBA. But I mean, athlete is an athlete. It shouldn't matter male or female. They're here to play ball. So on that part, I don't really agree with it having to be less physical. But I do think I agree with DJ just about the fouling. Like it just needs to be consistent. If you're going to have one team that gets all the fouls, that way they can score all the points and get all that stuff, and then you don't do that to other teams, it makes it kind of boring to watch because then you're just sitting there like one team is at 89, the other team barely got 30 because they never got the
I mean, I guess that's kind of, I guess I'm looking at it like results based. It's like if you could make that type of physicality and not get called for a foul, the game is too physical and needs to be softer. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you could make those things and not have a foul called on you, the game is too physical. I
agree. I absolutely.
It needs to be a softer game. Like
we don't hold the males to the standard. That's my point. We don't hold the NBA to this standard. So I'm like, why is beat up
exactly
for a foul?
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm like, what are we doing? I'm like, bro, yes, absolutely. I can't say that enough.
You can't be letting them get beat up and you're just like not even seeing it. People get their headband knocked off in front of you, and you're like,
no,
good call, go ahead and play. And they're like, I'm bleeding.
Alyssa Thomas is beating up everybody. She just get off.
I mean, there was one point where Asia literally was bleeding. She had a black eye and a cut across her nose. And they had not called.
Who wants to watch that, bro? Luka complains about. You take your glasses off. Put your glasses back on, Shannon. but it's like, bro. Luka gets like scratched. He literally turns to the ref. Where's my foul? Harden, jump. I'm not actually gonna shoot. I'm gonna lead into you so I can get these 3 free throws. It's like, dude, like what? Like it's the WNBA, relatively is like a tougher game than the NBA, So it's like, I don't know, because if you can make those fouls and get away with it, it's too physical,
For sure. They need to call.
Well, not everybody. Some people breathe the wrong way and they get a foul called on them, but it just depends. They're just not consistent. I just want them to be consistent.
And they don't call a flagrant. No, I've seen people get tackled on the court and they do not call a flagrant. I have seen people get tackled on a court and they do not call a flagrant. I've seen somebody try to attack somebody's knees on the court and take out somebody's like I've seen these things. I'm like, what are we? This is insane. No. This ain't will never. They pushed Joker in the back, the man out the league for a year. You know what I'm saying? Like no, they don't. This is a no. They gotta change. They gotta again freedom of movement because they're gonna have the committee. They're going to that's gonna change because they're gonna usher the WNBA into a new era. They're gonna say the game's too slow. We gotta speed this up. Boom, boom, boom. Like,
right.
That there's no way that they could stay like this, especially if one of your as you bring in more of these players, these revolutionary players, these generational players, they're not gonna let them get hurt. that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. So they going that's gonna get switched up. So. But yeah, I would absolutely change that up. I was gonna ask you, does the because let me ask y'all this. There's a few more. We got a few more debates. Does the WNBA's reliance on a few marquee players hurt the league, such as Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, or does it boost interest in women's basketball overall? What do y'all think?
Short-term games. Well, go ahead. No, you can go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I don't think it hurts the competitiveness. I don't think the players, I mean, they're there to play. I don't think they care about who's the marquee player or not. They're just trying to win games. But as far as the viewership is concerned, they do rely heavily on those. I mean, that's what you guys were saying earlier. They should be relying heavily on them to get viewership and interest in it. So I don't think they do enough of, like we said earlier, spreading that out. But I don't think that hurts it being competitive. I don't see how that would, but I'll see what y'all say.
What are you gonna say?
I mean, like, hurt the competitiveness by relying on Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark? Like, I mean, I guess I don't understand the question.
So the better question is, do you feel like they're missing the boat by only promoting the two of them? Or just focusing the spotlight on the two of them?
That's how the NBA and WNBA, I mean, the NBA kind of has always done it, right? Like, short-term gains. It's going to be real tough when LeBron retires because we don't have the next one yet, you know? I mean, can you imagine when Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark retire? We'll probably have the next one, and Juju and Paige are already there. But it's like, you know, it just hurts so much more when these people leave the game, though, when you put all your eggs in one basket.
So, but as far as the back, I mean, but that's exactly why I said that. That's exactly why I said that. So it's like if you're only putting it in the two of them. I mean, so okay. Why do you feel like the disconnect is there between? I don't feel like there is though. But it's like okay, you're saying if okay, let's say the both of them weren't playing today, Angel and Caitlin. Boom, they both get or something. Boom, they were not playing. Okay. How do you feel? Why do you feel like the other players in the league aren't able to like I guess carry or hold or manage the part? Like why do you feel like they're not able to like kind of like I guess uplift or keep the league intact?
Because I think it's because
I'm not saying you don't think that. I'm just saying why do you think?
Well, I think because America hasn't built enough of a relationship with Aja Wilson and Erica Ogunbowale for years. You know what I'm saying? Like whereas Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Paige, Haley, we've known these people for a couple years now, so it's like we kind of follow their story, and when they're not there, we don't the WNBA has trouble introducing new viewers to the existing great storylines, like it's just like it's difficult to catch up on Breonna Stewart and her move to New York, and it's just they don't do a good job of bringing these stories to us for us to feel emotionally attached to them. And when you're not emotionally attached to these storylines or these players, you just don't watch.
I mean, but the question is why? That's I don't know. That's my only thing. But you brought up a question when you mentioned media coverage. I'm sorry, you mentioned
Erica.
Not Erica. You mentioned I forget the term you used, but it had something to do with media coverage. But I wanted to ask you is this: so do you feel like it's actually improving amongst the spirit? Because I'm the reason why I'm pausing is because I'm thinking about on Auntie Swoops and then I'll get Nancy Lieberman. So, but do you feel like media coverage? I guess amongst the league is improving. I know it's changing, but do you feel like it's improving, or do you feel like it's still not? I guess doing the WNBA justice.
I think that it's improving for sure because people are having stronger opinions about things, and it's bringing, Gil's Arena actually talked about this, where they were like, it's like you're bringing in people and they might be ignorant about it, but as long as discourse is happening about the league, it's an improvement overall because we get familiarized with all these people. And overall, I mean, for example, like first Nick Wright on his podcast, he was talking about like Asia Wilson is for sure MVP, and the Fever probably can't beat like 3 or 4 teams, but he was at least critically, like you could tell he had at least critically watched a bunch of games. So the discourse will improve around the sport by just kind of being in it peripherally, which, I mean, progress has to start somewhere,
Good point. That's a good point. Do you feel like media coverage is improving in the W, or do you feel like it's still lacking and they need to do better?
Media coverage as far as just talking about the W or showing games and stuff?
Or do you mean like the razzmatazz at the shindig in Big D?
I was there when that happened.
I know. I heard you laughing in the audio.
That was so silly.
But that person has done that before, right? That's what they do.
He did it to Bron. He did it to Bron. Bron answered back. James Harden, but they ain't like that.
It's too much fucking razzmatazz, bro.
They ain't like that.
But I mean,
that's why I wanted to start laughing. But I see her bell. Like,
I mean, that's media coverage, The fact you see crazy stuff coming in, like I guess that the game's growing. So.
I mean,
that's true.
It's getting there, but it's not there yet. I mean, I think media coverage for the W is very like pigeonholed, and it's like very like this. They're not broad enough, covering enough things. There's only one show on TV that covers the W. It's WNBA Weekly. It's a weekly show, and they try to fit in much information as they can in like a half hour or 45 minutes. And then they just replay it. It's on NBA TV. They replay it every other day, and it's like it's the same show for a week. They keep playing. It's like that's old information because like it was new on Monday, but we're Thursday now. We can't still be talking about that same thing.
You know why though?
Why?
It's because, and it goes back to scheduling. It's next game.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is we need more than a weekly show. I mean, they talk about WNBA on NBA Today. I watched that, but that's a segment that they bring up. So as far as media coverage, they're doing what I guess they can do within the time allowed, and what they have. And there's internet shows as well that ESPN has that we'll talk about the W. But the media coverage, as far as talking about them, definitely needs to be out there, because like you were saying earlier, there needs to be like stories about these players and things like that when they're during the games or during commercials or something like that. And when I was watching WNBA Weekly, like Renee Montgomery, she's one of the hosts who used to play for Atlanta Dream, but now she's one of the owners. She actually did like a whole thing on like who is Tina Charles when she became second all-time scoring, and did you guys really know about Maya Moore, and did you know about this person? And like she has like these segments that she does where you're really getting educated, but nobody's really able to see it like unless you have NBA TV, and then it's just a weekly thing. So they can work on that. I mean, I know there's a lot of red tape and things to do, like they can't just say they want a half-hour show every day and think someone's going to give them one. I guess it's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but the media coverage can be a little bit better. Right now it's like I didn't hear what you were saying, Jordan, but it is a lot about discourse that's being talked about, and a lot about which drama gets the numbers there, drama gets the clicks and stuff like that. But if we just had a little bit more information about the stuff that's not drama, like mixed into there, so they do know who Asia Wilson is, and they do know who Kennedy Carter is, or they do know who Benaja Laney is, or stuff like that, like mix into that would be great in growing the game, and get that stuff out there for other fans that aren't just stuck on whatever drama is going on in W right now.
Yeah,
so they can do better.
I agree. I just think that because I'm like sometimes it's not a lot of the time the discourse is outside of basketball. Oh, this person bumped. This person bumped this person. This person was hyping up a crowd. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, just who cares? You know what I'm saying? Not like who cares in a bad way, but it's just like, okay, they did
drama
that.
moves the needle. That's what they.
I'm like, is it this? Is it this in the league? But then So one of the things that's funny I wanted to bring up, but it's like, why is Twitter such a toxic place? Why is it such a toxic place? Because I'm like,
have you been on Threads?
Threads is easy.
Now I can't even get on Threads.
Okay,
is that like Twit Longer or something like that?
It's Instagram's version of Twitter. If you're on WNBA Threads, that's where it gets is hot and heated. You think Twitter is crazy?
Is it like Reddit? Have you been on Reddit, bro?
I don't know how Reddit I've never been on Reddit.
Reddit is the sewer, bro. Reddit's the sewer of the internet, bro.
Is it?
Like it's the worst. It's the worst.
Social media, period. Anywhere where you can speak, put your opinion out there in how many characters, it's just going to be.
But what I was saying is, I'm like, okay, so I guess because I'm like, somebody was about to drive to Temecula to fight somebody on Twitter. So I'm like, the NBA Twitter has always been crazy. WNBA Twitter is just like, that's wow.
It's a hellhole over there.
Bro, for a good time, go on Reddit. Bro, I
for a good time.
Dude, I went to look up something about electrical sockets or something. I posted something, bro. I got so much hate from all these electricians on the internet telling me how stupid I am. Like, what?
Wow.
Bro, you can't ask anyone anything on the internet,
Speaking of internet and asking, I'm gonna open up the chat. If anybody got something to say, we'll do this for quickly. Anybody wants something to say, I'm gonna let y'all chime in for a minute or two, etc. But other than that, I mean, we about to close out. Other than that,
I might drop off just because I gotta feed my dogs.
That's what I was about to say. We about to close out. So anybody if you have final thoughts, etc.
Nope, it's always, y'all know how I feel. It's always
Aces.
go Sky, go Aces. We're going, my Aces are going to go. I'm putting it out there. We're going to go on a running streak the rest of these 7 games. I think the Sky, if we can get Kennedy back and she's healthy, like DJ was saying, I think we have a good chance of holding down that 8th spot and making it, a solid thing. Like nobody can catch us. But I'm a root for them whether they make it or not. I'm so proud of Chicago and what they've been able to do so far this season when they weren't even supposed to be anywhere outside of 12th. They've done so much. They're rebuilding, new team, new coach, and they're fighting for their lives to stay in 8th place while dealing with all the stuff that they're dealing with. So I'm proud of them no matter what. So go Sky, go Aces.
My closing thoughts. Y'all don't want to play Indiana Fever. You better guard. That's the
Kelsey
team
Mitchell.
want to play. We've been talking about her all day. If y'all don't want to play them, they keep playing like this. Y'all not gonna want to play them. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. But it's still. I'll go Minnesota still in Las Vegas if the 2 teams to beat, and then I'm gonna go and followed by New York City. Those 3. I don't think in
Seattle
can beat those.
Seattle's done.
The Sun.
I think Seattle. Indiana can handle Seattle. Truthfully, I think they can handle Seattle. That means Kelsey Mitchell and CC got to outscore Jewel and Skylar, and I think that could be done. And then the factor is Aaliyah and Nneka. I'm gonna lean Nneka. You got Liz. Liz is gonna win that matchup between Jordan. So yeah, I will go Indiana. And then you got Lexi, who's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go Indiana.
How far, Sun?
Yeah, what about the Sun, bro?
Connecticut. I think Indiana figured out. I love it. I had Connecticut early going to the finals, but I want to see the seeding. For Connecticut, I feel like the seeding got to be the right way because they can play defense. They're versatile. They can match up with any team. Like they got 4 of the best players in the league with obviously Dejanay, Alyssa, Brianna, and then you have
Bonner,
Jordan.
Bonner, yeah.
So
best.
So you have them. So I think they honestly can match up, and they should have won a ring. They played.
They've come close.
I mean, yeah.
They're in the finals. They're in the finals.
Close, but no cigar.
Here. So it's like, yeah, it's they need to have the ability to. I don't know, man. I don't know. With teams when they end up losing, I feel like they take a step back, and then another team is going to supplant them. They has to. So it's just the circle of life. They're supposed to get it done, and they didn't. So it's like you got to move back to retool. So I don't know, man. I don't know. That Connecticut Sun roster is good, so I'm hoping that they kind of pull through too. Honestly, I don't figure out much about Boston. So what are you gonna say, Jordan?
Nothing. My closing thoughts. Follow Moral Sports Media. Where you get unfiltered WNBA content. No holds bars. We have real debates about the WNBA. And we just don't talk about only the flagrant fouls and the crazy conversations when people are on the treadmill and they got to get off the treadmill to have tough phone calls. We talk about everything here. So follow Moral Sports Media.
Oh, and watch our interview with Odyssey Sims.
We got more coming up. We got more coming up for y'all. Appreciate it, y'all.
Take care.